What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast. Sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. Go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. We are back in the green today, guys. We had another back-to-back 5-star for DFW. So, of course, we're going to go over it, but it was a late-night hail event and super large hail. So, going into yesterday's 5-star, could there be a three-peat today? DFW, you guys are in the risk yet again for some large hail, as well as parts of East Texas, including like Waco, Tyler, Longview area, into Shreveport. We've got a ton of people in the risk for today and tomorrow, so stay tuned. If you guys are in the southeast, for the end of the show here, we'll talk about your risk for tomorrow. But DFW, let's go over it. So there was a band of severe weather that tracked from Colorado kind of through the southeast. It's kind of similar to what we saw for the past couple of days. Got a couple of strong storms through the Denver and Pueblo area along I-25 and near the Canyon City, and in Canyon City actually. We saw some large hail, so got a 3-star map out of that. And then from yesterday and into Texas, there was a storm that started near San Angelo, split, and then this one storm just really long tracking thunderstorm. You can see the continuous hail reports out of that. John and Derek were chasing it and moved all the way up into Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, dropping that large hail, got us yet another 5-star. So taking a look at that. Here's where that long tracker went. Again, it really kind of developed quick and then started dropping that really big hail. And then as it rolled towards Dallas, got into, you know, the metro where you get all that heat too, and then it really started to ramp up, especially through Mansfield, and then started to taper off once it moved its way out of the city. But super long track cell there. This is really the bulk of where we got that 5-star, though there were a couple of storms here and there that also produced severe hail. So starting on the south end, started up near Comanche, producing that really large hail too, 2.5 inch, and then started doing really large hail near Stephenville. Again, very isolated 4 inches on this, but we did see pretty good volume of baseballs. A lot of pictures came in, especially through Mansfield. Got a ton of photos out of Mansfield with those baseball-sized spiky hailstones. And then once it tracked through DeSoto, started to taper off near Segoville, and then once it got to Terrell, it went below severe limits. But got a pretty solid little 5-star for the late night out of that. Hit 213,604 structures. So lots of people came under fire from that large hail. If you guys want access to that map, you can go ahead and scan that QR code up above me or click the link in the description to this video to go ahead and sign up for our products if you don't have them already. Or go ahead and search Dallas, Mansfield, Burleson, and Pampa, Texas hail, and you'll get access to that 5-star as well as all of the other hail maps from yesterday. Speaking of other hail maps, we have a 3-star for Colorado. Again, storm really ramped up once it went over Canyon City, tracked towards Pueblo, didn't quite make it in, but just that Canyon City swath alone got us enough population with that large hail hit to be a 3-star map. So max size on that was 2 inches with those red swaths there. Hit over 16,000 homes with that, that little map. So Colorado's been in it. It's been kind of quiet in Colorado for the past couple of years, but all of a sudden you guys got a couple 4-stars in Denver, you got this 3-star in Canyon City, so it's been pretty active along the Front Range. So here's yet another map for you guys out there. It's Canyon City, Fort Carson, Boulder, Colorado hail for that one. And again, if you guys sign up to purchase this map, you'll get everything from yesterday, so you'll have access to Texas, Colorado, all that good stuff, so go ahead and check that map out there. Then into today, again, we're in the chance for a three-peat for Texas. We already got storms heading down past I-30 into the Shreveport area. Got a severe thunderstorm warning making its way through there, and these cells are really kind of ramping up through that area with the potential to produce some large hail. And then we've got that whole complex tracking through the southeast as well. So watching that to continue to develop here. But really, you can see the focus for our thunderstorms here got our low pressure system in the upper Midwest, and then got that sinking cold front across the southeast, across DFW, and then got more storms forming along that, moving up from that. All that instability out of the Gulf is kind of colliding with that cold air from that low. Can you hear me, Christine, in the microphone? Do you hear me okay? All right, you may want to try to turn off the volume or go off the live and then back on it. If anyone else can't hear, let me know, or if I'm good, let me know in the comments, but I'll keep rolling with it for right now. But yeah, we got that low spinning up through the Midwest. We've got warm air through the southeast, 91 degrees in Houston, 91 in Miami as well. And so plenty of heat through the southeast. Okay, sweet, you can hear me now. Thanks for letting me know. Got a lot of heat, got a lot of humidity through the southeast, and now we again have that forcing that we didn't have last week. We've got that little trough making its way through Texas, so a little baby trough there, and then we got that big upper level low sparking storms through the southeast. So a couple areas of forcing, as well as all that environmental instability. Take a look at that here on our map. Now we're maxing out our convective available potential energy, the amount of lift we have to produce hail, maxing that out on our forecast models here. So plenty to go around, particularly through central Texas, though we still have some through the southeast to get us some large hail as well. And then into tonight, it's going to taper off, pop back up into tomorrow. So this time to tomorrow, we're still going to be seeing pockets of very high instability through the southeast with that potential to produce that large hail yet again. And then we'll see if the pattern can continue into the rest of the week. But starting out with the Texas-Oklahoma panhandles, we do have a chance for storms out there with that little shorter trough. So we're seeing a couple of clusters of cells forming through, West Texas into the Pampa area out east. Could potentially see some larger hail coming off of these, maybe ping pong to golf ball sized stones, and then it's going to track east more as clusters. Oklahoma City, you guys could get some heavy rain into tonight, and then Tulsa as well as that band pushes off to the east. Then if you guys are out in central Texas, this is what we're watching for you, DFW, all right? So we've got a couple of cells that are expected to form just to the west of 35, as well as just to the north of Dallas there, all right? A couple in the Tyler Longview area. Any of these could potentially be doing large hail, but we're really watching this. Remember how high that cape, all that instability is out in this region. We could potentially see some very large hail coming off of these storms quickly. So those are going to track east, and then if you guys notice, those split apart. And us meteorologists like to watch these splitting thunderstorms for potential large hail. That's what happened last night. Thunderstorm split, and then that north split tracked all the way up into Dallas. So we're watching this for the potential to do that with the south storm potentially going just north of Waco. And as that tracks through, there you go. Then more storm coverage in Dallas by around midnight, making its way through Shreveport as well. Can't forget about Shreveport. We got a potential for some large hail through there. And then storms are going to keep rolling through the overnight hours. There we are, 3 a.m., yet another chance for Dallas. So you guys have multiple opportunities here to see large hail into tonight and into tomorrow morning as that tracks off to the east. So really watching this corridor here where those cells develop for that large hail. Then into tomorrow, or into, the southeast for today, we're watching storms continue to stroll out through the east, making a run at Jackson by midnight, looking pretty quiet initially, but then into the overnight hours. So now we're at 3 a.m., Montgomery, Birmingham. You guys have a chance to see some storms making its way out east towards Savannah through the late overnight hours with this complex of thunderstorms headed that way. So, southeast, you may have a quieter day today than East Texas, but into the overnight, that's when you could potentially see that larger hail. So we got purple on the map yet again for today. And we also have a risk out here for, large hail in the panhandles as well as the southeast. So jumping into this, Guyman, you guys do have a low-end chance to see some large hail today where those clusters are headed through. That's really the only large city that we can give you out through the panhandles for today. Then, once you get down into Texas, DFW and Waco, you guys are going to be on the edges of where you could potentially see that large hail. Again, we got storms forming kind of in this area, and depending on where they split and where they track, they're going to take that large hail along with them. So stay tuned for that if you guys are along I-35, kind of in the path of those storms. You could potentially see that large hail there. Moderate for both of you guys, can't go any higher than that because, again, it's very dependent on storm track today. Shreveport, you got a moderate as well, got plenty of clusters that should be heading in and around the area for you, so 2.5 inch out that way. Then once you get into the southeast, for Montgomery, for Savannah, you guys have a solid chance to see some larger hail, maybe ping pong to golf ball size stones, very isolated through there. So low end, once you get through Jackson, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Atlanta, lower end chance for you guys, but potential to see some large hail there out east as well. Then looking at wind, now we've got a chance to see some strong winds, should be pretty scattered through the region. So keeping most of us on a low end for today, Guyman low end chance for you guys, pretty much all the way from DFW and Waco eastward into Savannah. You have a chance to see some high winds, but it's going to be more scattered. Hail is the more prevalent threat for today. Then tornado, kind of a similar story. We're mostly watching hail for today, especially with those splitting storms. But we do still have a chance to see maybe a tornado or two, keeping DFW, Waco, and Shreveport on the low end, but still in the risk for that for today and tonight. So for your city forecast, if you guys are in Waco, you could see that large hail anywhere between 8 and 11 p.m. You got a moderate though. Again, we kind of talked about it a little bit. It's going to depend on where that initial storm develops and then splits, if it can hit Waco proper. Same story pretty much for Dallas. You know, if we get another north split heading into the city, you could get that really large hail, but it's, you know, it's going to depend on whether that storm will track out that way. So storm timeline for you guys is going to be around the end of your workday into midnight. You got multiple waves of storms into today through tonight. So stay tuned for those. Keep your weather alerts on tonight if you guys are in DFW. So max hail size, again, we talked a little bit about it, but looking at probably seeing some baseballs. We've seen 4 inches for the past couple of days, so we could even see some softballs today. But for the majority of the largest hailstones in those biggest storms, we could potentially see baseballs out of those. Then into tomorrow, looking at the southeast. Now DFW should have a little bit of a quieter day. Things are going to track mostly out towards, Mississippi, Louisiana for your Wednesday. But we've got some storms heading through and out of Jackson, out of Montgomery, chance to see some larger hail out of those, and really kind of blowing up in intensity and coverage by around 8:30 p.m. Expecting to see more storms now through the Birmingham-Montgomery corridor by tomorrow night as those continue to track out to the east, and then a whole mess of stuff just sinks down through the south. All risks possible into tomorrow, hail, wind, and tornado. Then out easter than the east, you get more storms heading through into Georgia by the late night hours. So there we are by 9:30 p.m., things getting ready to head through Macon. And then again, you got a whole complex of storms. With those complexes, we tend to see a lot of wind, but again, hail is not out of the question for tomorrow's forecast. So watching initial cells with a chance to produce maybe up to 2-inch hail into tomorrow with anything that stays isolated initially. So got a low end chance for you guys on the outer edges of that risk, Little Rock all the way down to Tallahassee and Atlanta. But if you guys are really in that central corridor where you get that first storm development from Jackson to Birmingham and Montgomery all the way east into Savannah, you got a chance to see more severe hail through that area. Then for wind, looking at the same region here, all the way from East Texas just to the east of Dallas. Now we're looking at more like Tyler or Longview area, all the way eastward into Jacksonville. We could potentially see some strong winds through that region. Then last but not least, we got our tornado forecast tomorrow, pretty much centered between Jackson and Montgomery there. If you guys are in Meridian, if you guys are in, just south of Birmingham or Montgomery proper, you could potentially see a very brief tornado into tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow's update if you guys are in the southeast for today. So that's all we have for our day 2 5-star forecast there. Again, Derek and John got back at like 3 a.m. last night from their chase, so they're taking some much needed time to rest. They'll be back with you guys. Hopefully they have some footage and we'll post that on our media pages here, so go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and also smash that subscribe button everywhere else, and we'll post any storm chasing content that we may have gotten from yesterday. And if you want to get in contact with us or purchase any of those maps, go ahead and scan that QR code up above me or click the link in the description to this video and we can go ahead and set you up with access to those. Or give us a call at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And as usual, thank you guys for coming back and sticking with us here, and stay tuned to your weather. We'll be here if there's any need for live coverage or anything into this afternoon. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.